Let's go with Dark Wall.
Intruder detected. Scanning. Scanning. Exterminating.
Looks like we can. Oh, Lord, it's enormous.
Intruder detected. Scanning. Scanning. Exterminating.
If I can get a wall up, then I can just
Look at the shade!
wheel on them.
That thing is commanding the robot somehow.
Aim for the legs! Knock it down! Take
Oh,
out
I
the
still
shade!
charge my attack while I've got the shield up. That's nice. If the shield stays up.
Exterminating. Aim. 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 Aim.
He has so much health. Holy fuck. BB's weight, that's enough. You're gonna get destroyed if you keep fighting.
Must defend my mission.
No, I can't move with anything. That's why I'm doing so much damage, I might as well just back off and fire a
Damn
bullet.
it! That's a shade! It's a shade!
Kill him. Kill him. Feel the hate inside you.
This moment definitely feels better with the original music. It was a lot more epic than the automatic track that they used instead. This specifically, where he gets his wings.
Exterminating. Aim. 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 Aim.
This thing can transform.
Yeah, so his health is 0 right now, but he's not dead because it seems like they have a damage threshold. Stop, BB's my best friend, stop hurting.
Must defend my mission.
BB, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I wanted to be with you forever.
Khalil. Together. BB. Alone. BB. Cry.
You stupid machine! You killed my family! You took everything from me!
Nope, you did that all to yourself, you dumbass.
Why did you have to be here? Why you? Why?
Beautiful. What a perfect example of humanity.
So, I don't know how much of that you saw, Dash. Yeah. BB wasn't trying to bring the roof down on us. He was trying to escape the room and get away from us, so that they could do what they talked about before, which is go see the world. Although, leaving this building probably would have killed Khalil, because she had constant sunlight.
You took everything from me. You killed my brother. You killed my mother. If it weren't for you, they'd still be alive!
He might actually have a point about the mother part. I mean, sure, she was abandoning her kids, but the robots, as far as we know, were what killed her.
Hey, come on. That's enough.
I did it! Now that this goddamn thing is dead, I can forage wherever I want. Just wait, you goddamn freak! Now I can make all kinds of powerful weapons! Just leave it to me!
Look, we get it, okay? Really?
So, I don't know if I
Hatred
mentioned
and
this
madness.
before.
Maybe it's just...
One thing that always stood out to me in the original with him is when he's like hitting the dead robot, you see him mixing it up in this between a punch and a kick. In the original, he's just punching it with his fist over and over again, and he's using his real hand, not his robot arm. He is using his real hand to punch a metal robot, and all I could imagine was just him like beating that thing until his hand was bloody. Yep, it's kind of fucked. Reminds me of the Drakengard 1 protagonist in a lot of ways. Like, NieR is about good characters doing the right thing, doing what they think is the right thing, and inadvertently fucking everything up. Drakengard's not. Drakengard's is about shitty people accidentally saving the world.
has found some information about the Shadow Lord.
Very well.
It's about shitty people who do shitty things and maybe sorta kinda save the world a little, but then fuck it up anyway. Like, one of your party members in Drakengard 1 literally eats children.
I've
Like,
been
she's just the
thinking.
worst.
Why was a shade hanging out with a machine?
Oh, this seems new.
It appeared the creature was actually issuing orders to that mechanical minion.
Do you think the shade had a reason for what it did?
Actually,
Tanya knows. She can fucking understand them, and she just didn't tell us.
Look, it doesn't matter what a shade is or isn't thinking. All that matters is that we kill every last one of them.
This really, like, calls into her question her moral fiber, because it's like, okay, I get it. You have to hold on to anger and hatred, because it's the only thing keeping your own shade from fully possessing you. But it's so fucked up that she knew the entire time that these things are intelligent and are people, and just pretend you don't hear them.
right. Sure. The idea of a shade trying to protect a robot is goddamn absurd. Still, you guys should be careful.
What do you mean?
If the shade inside me ever takes over, I'm probably going to attack you.
That's not gonna happen. You are no shade.
The lad is correct. You are many things, hussy, but a shade is not one of them. Shades, for example, do not come equipped with such foul and scurrilous mouths.
How about I cram your face up your own asshole, book?
Don't worry, Kaine. If your
Unfortunately,
shade ever
Kanye,
takes
books
over,
do not come
I'll
equipped
stop
with
you.
assholes.
You will you? Thanks, Emil.
She'll tear him an you know that old saying, I'll tear you a new asshole? She'll tear his first. It is pretty cool. Oh fuck, I forgot about the bullets again. I literally saw them come at me right in my face, and I'm like, oh, damn it. Well, there's a line that's going to get taken out of context. I saw them come in my face. I definitely like it better than his other costume with the like weird floral pattern. Alright, so where are we going next? Back to the village to talk to Porter and Devla. And they're going to send us down to Seafront to deal with the ship. I probably said this before, but yeah, like, it's really transparent now that I think about it. That the main reason for the new episode Mermaid content is they're like, oh fuck, Seafront has no relevance whatsoever. It is side quest town. You go there once as part of the main quest to grab a fish. Like, maybe we should have something fucking happen there.
Learned anything new about the Shadow Lord's key, Popola?
You know, I was just going to talk to you about that. You remember the... Not so...
Oh wait, no, not Seafront. The Airy.
That's...
They referenced it earlier in a cutscene, but I guess we're not going there quite yet.
The Airy, huh?
What a soul.
Well, if he thinks it's soul crushing now. I can't get over that loading screen thing. Like, I get why
I
it
cannot
didn't...
fathom that village setting up a mercantile. They must have truly opened their minds.
Okay, there's something over here.
Yeah, I have
That
my
I think
doubts.
oh yeah.
Aren't you glad to be going back home, Kaine?
This guy's new.
Home?
He's entirely
This
new.
is a shithole.
Don't be so nervous, Kaine. We'll protect you.
I got me taken care of. Worry about protecting yourself.
Alright.
What's up?
Last month, my wife encountered some sheep in the plains. And the foul creatures kicked the very life from her.
Like, she's dead? From sheep?
I came here to enact my revenge. But the beasts are far too violent for me to take on.
So, you want me to hunt them down?
No, that won't do.
Oh, then what do you want?
What do you want?
They must suffer as she suffered.
You want me to kick them?
My good man, we are hardly in the business of punting fluffy animals to death.
Yeah, that's fucked up, dude.
I've heard you've tamed wild boars, yes? That you can mount and ride them as one would a common pack
Oh
animal.
god, is he telling me to... He wants me to boar drift into sheep.
That shall be my revenge. Mount your boar and ride headlong into the sheep. Annihilate them and all their kin across this plain.
Screenshotting that.
This is hardly the most civilized of assignments.
Save
Emil's
your
just flying back and forth,
civilized concerns
freaking
for
out
one
like,
who has not
what the fuck? What
experienced
the
my
fuck?
pain. These animals must suffer. They must pay for what they have done to my beloved.
Oh my god. He's out of his mind. Dude, there's a food shortage. You want to kill more animals? No, don't play the epic NieR Automata music. This is not epic. This is stupid. Oh god, the humanity. Fucking hell.
Thank you. I'm sure my wife sleeps easier now.
I have my doubts.
Here is your payment.
100 gold for every one I killed?
Well, if you wish to give it another go, I will be here.
That's not what the subtitle says, but okay. A weird minigame. Holy shit. Lore, where are you? Yeah, I don't know when he appeared. I just noticed. I noticed the icon on my minimap just by chance. I don't know if he's probably been there for a while, and I just never noticed him. Fucking hell. But yeah, New, I'm pretty sure mentioned something like that, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Desire.
We do not desire needless conflict.
If we can continue to live with humans,
Then we can continue to live peacefully.
But that young man will come.
Yes, the young man will come.
He will kill us all. Women and children included.
What should we do? What can we do?
Yeah, so evidently so I'm thinking about it now, right? There's no way Kainia would not have been aware of a bunch of shades possessing the villagers if she was around. But she got petrified and was stuck to a wall in the library for 5 years. And during that time, I imagine more and more shades came into the area and possessed more and more humans. And they've more or less been okay like that since then. Like they've achieved some kind of stable existence. But now we're coming and we're gonna fuck things up. This is the thing with the NieR franchise. Like, it is... Drakengard is very much a dark series about dark and terrible things, but NieR is more sad because it's not a world where everything is relentlessly terrible and so are all the people in it. Most of them think they're doing the right thing and are trying to do the right thing. And for a number of reasons, it just doesn't work out. And the main reason tends to be communication, where people either won't or can't talk to each other, and the misunderstandings just get worse and worse.
Hello? We're here from Popola's village.
It's all over.
We came to ask about the letter you sent.
Our days are numbered. Our village is
Now,
doomed.
don't quote me on this because I'm like half remembering, but from what I understand, I believe the main inspiration for this series was, I mean, he might have been talking about Drakengard when he said this, but I believe it was NieR. Well, he said one of his main inspirations was actually 9/11, and specifically the aftermath of 9/11, where we kind of went into this period of like a culture of hatred and division, where we started drawing dividing lines between people depending on where they were from, their religion, their race, because we were so afraid of others.
As cheerful as ever, it seems.
And that we no longer tried to understand each other.
You're the one who wrote the letter, right?
So now we quickly need to get down there to the markets. Quite possibly, yeah. My opinion of it is that he's either referring to NieR, or, considering he doesn't know about the letter, I think maybe he knows about the shades, or he suspects it. Because the King of Facade, we also told him, it's like, oh, we found a shade that was possessing one of your people, there might be more. And so they might be on some level aware of the fact that a bunch of their people are acting weird and are possessed.
Huh? A sweater? Oh, a letter. No, sorry. Don't know about that.
A letter?
Huh? A letter?
Man, I was so tired of holding up indoors.
A letter, huh? Yeah, I think I heard something about that.
No worries, Dash.
So, you know about the letter?
Which... Oh,
Everyone.
Vice! Beware, this man is a shade.
Damn it! It's a trap!
I figured as much.
You guys sure are taking your goddamn time.
1,000 apologies. We were distracted by the local welcoming party.
Want some help?
A carnival of murder? I love it. Yeah.
Alright, calm down, Tyrion.
Kaine, the villagers are possessed!
But not all of them!
He is so
Some are still
ridiculously
human, so be
Saturday
careful.
morning cartoon film. Like over the top doesn't even begin to describe him.
Get out of here!
Okay, I know for a fact that there's nothing new in that, so I'll just skip that. Why have you done this? We just wanted to live our lives.
Stop it! Don't hurt my sister!
You monsters. Possessed monsters. Oh no, they said the line. You are the real monsters.
What madness. These people are behaving as if we are the villains.
That I will not defend. I find that I hit that line.
Kaine!
You people are the real monsters is the hackest shit
Kill
ever.
them now! Villagers.
You should never write that in your story ever. Although, you know what, I'll be fair and say the Japanese equivalent of that line probably sounds way less cliche and dramatic. Probably sounds way less cliche. And when you turn it into English, it just always becomes that really stupid line. Just Detroit Become Human takes the cake for me of like, like there's a part in fucking Detroit Become Human where they say, but who's the real monsters? And I just like die inside of like, oh fuck you for even saying that.
What's happening? By my pages, is this beast a shade as well?
That thing sucked up the villagers.
No! If we keep this up, we're gonna kill them all! We can't let that happen!
If I would change anything about this scene, I feel like we really needed to actually see the villagers get sucked up. That doesn't really happen visually. Our village. Ooh, where are we?
I feel something.
Like, there's no other character models anymore, so I guess that's the idea, but like, we don't see it during that episode. Oh my god!
Is this the combined power of all those shades?
It will take more than a barrage of magic to stop us. The first to waver is the first to die.
The bullets. The bullets are freaking me out, oh my god. It might have been a mistake to play
I
with
sense
this.
magic coming from the center of that eye.
Fuck.
Wait! I think those are actual people!
Hold nothing back. Those are shades.
Yeah, bosses definitely have like a damage threshold where you can't hurt them anymore, so that their dialogue.
The surrounding tentacles appear to deflect magic. With such speed! Now, focus your magic on the beast's center.
You know, I didn't notice before when we pulled the tentacles right off. Like, they actually blew. Oh, but they just float, so it doesn't matter. Alright, you got this, Emil. I'm gonna go run around.
Its weak point is located around the back. Try attacking it from above.
I'll try to pin it down!
Emil!
Nope.
Emil!
I'll keep it busy! You should be able to attack! From behind! Go around and get it! Please, hurry!
Emil can handle this. We must circle behind the creature at
Oh,
once.
the faces. Yep, damage threshold.
Get it! It is escaping to the inner level.
I'm coming! Gotta catch my breath.
Careful. Won't help anyone if we lose you here. God damn it! You beat the hell out of that thing. How can it still move?
Its combined powers are beyond even my greatest suspicion.
Come on! Help me take it out!
Come on,
Where is it? There we go. So do you remember I said that there would be no more reading? Well, that would have been true in the original, but for the remake they added one, which is about to happen for a minute. I'm sorry for that. I did not know when I said it. It will hopefully not take too long.
Emil! Emil, wait!
Emil!
He's gone. His instincts have taken hold. The ultimate weapon is being deployed.
Ah, fuck. This ain't good, Sunshine.
really fucked up thing that stands out to me that is it's not even just like the buildings, like the rock itself was melted away. So because we're on path C, actually wait. Oh yeah, this would have happened on path B as well. Yes. So he gives us the option of doing it. I'm going to say yes because I haven't actually read it. I skipped through this to leave it for the stream. Uncontrollable magic. I have to protect the people I love. That was my only thought as I unleashed a magic powerful enough to destroy not only the Shade, but everything else as well. All of them. So many innocent lives. Destroy, eviscerate, crush, kill. Those are the dark impulses that override all other thoughts. As a being that was created to be a magical weapon, those are my instincts. Or maybe it's better to call them our instincts. A klaxon sounds from deep within the bowels of the laboratory. Thick metal shutters drop down, sealing off the room with a series of dull metal thuds. Abort the experiment. Number 6 is out of control. Everyone get out of here now. Get out! The researcher's words are abruptly cut off as a massive hand materializes out of the gloom and lifts him high into the air. The researcher begins to scream. He screams and screams, the sound echoing off the walls of the laboratory, until the hand squeezes down, coating the room in a deep crimson hue. The rest of his colleagues stand in silence, mouths open, unable to process what they've just seen. Then a female scientist takes a step back and lets fly a heartbreaking wail. But this is a terrible mistake, for the sound of her cry suddenly brings forth a monster in all of its terrible glory. Its body is a bloated corpse, its head a grinning skull, and it is massive, many times the size of a human. The head lolls from side to side as it tromps about the room on all fours, bringing to mind the wild maneuverings of some wretched, starving beast. This creature, this thing, is experimental weapon number 6, also known as Haloa. No, please stop. Oh God, save me. I don't want to die. But one by one, the maddened cries of the researchers are silenced. If number 6 understands their petitions, it pays them no heed, instead continuing its rampage of destruction and slaughter with a focus bordering on obsession. After an eternity, the screaming stops. The alarms fall silent, and only then does the creature make a sound, howling out with an unfathomable roar that echoes up and down the empty halls of the blood-soaked laboratory. It's a sound that curses those who have dared to bring such evil into the world, and yet one that also seems to be pleading for help. Two sets of footsteps echo in an otherwise silent corridor on the first level of the laboratory. One set belongs to a young boy, his eyes blindfolded and his hands restrained. The other belongs to a severe man in a long white coat. The man drags the boy along by means of a long chain attached to a set of shackles on his wrists. Rubble is scattered here and there across the floor of the corridor, making the journey an exceedingly difficult one for a boy who cannot see. Excuse me, would you please walk a little slower, sir? I'm not used to being blindfolded and... Rather than stopping, the man only increases his pace, causing the boy to stumble in an attempt to keep up. This last humiliation proves too much, and the boy finds himself unable to arrest his fall. Without the ability to brace himself, he topples to the floor, smashing his head on a pile of debris and causing a trickle of blood to warm its way down his pale, frightened face. Agonized by the pain, the boy inadvertently opens his eyes, causing the falling drops of blood to emit a strange, cackling sound before transforming into tiny white rocks. "Close your damn eyes," roars the man. Yes, sir," stammers the boy as he closes his lid shut. He hadn't realized the blindfold had slipped off during the fall, but now he keeps his eyes squeezed shut so tightly that sparkles appear against the black of his vision. The boy is Emil, also known as Number 7. He has a magical weapon whose eyes are capable of turning to stone anything that falls under their gaze. "Don't look at me," barks the man. "Never look at me." "I'm sorry, sir. I'm looking at the ground now, so if you just hand me the..." Instead of waiting for him to finish, the man extends one foot and presses Emil's face to the floor with a heavy black boot. "Sir, stop. You're hurting me." "I told you to keep your eyes shut and your mouth shut. Do it." The man knows this boy, this weapon, could wipe him out with a single glance, and yet subduing him in this way gives him a sense of relief. After making certain the boy is sufficiently cowed, the man leans down, retrieves the blindfold, and knots it tightly around the boy's quivering head. "Right then, on your feet, let's move." Emil staggers to his feet, trying to ignore the red liquid oozing down his face. So, a side quest you didn't see is we did a bit of research into who was occupying the mansion where Emil was found, and we learned of one of the researchers lived in Seafront, but this had been hundreds of years prior. So we go there and we looked through some of her old writings, and we found a letter that was addressed to Emil, and in it she talked about how she was sorry for the way he was treated. He was nothing more than a weapon or an animal to most of the researchers and to the military personnel. He was someone to be used, and she hated that, and she wanted to make his life easier, and she was kind of a surrogate mother figure to him and his sister, but she couldn't stop the experiments. So this more or less is just how this was Emil's life before the rest of humanity died off. And then once they were all gone, the only person who was left was Sebastian, the android. The blood doesn't matter. The pain doesn't matter. All that matters is finishing the job they had set out for him to do. The second level of the laboratory is in even worse shape than the first. The environs are littered with rubble and rock, making the thought of a decent foothold laughable. When the man's eyes linger on a section of rubble stained a deep red, he has a sudden image of a warm, gooey brownie slathered in strawberry sauce. His stomach lurches at the thought, but when he attempts to avert his eyes, they land on the remains of a human being rendered into what can only be described as paste. The man blinks. His mind goes strangely blank before attempting to determine exactly how many humans had to be sacrificed to create the scattered pile of flesh around him. After a moment, his thoughts simply cease altogether, as if his mind realizes that trying to put such a thing into form is folly. "You can go the rest of the way on your own," says the man in a voice much weaker than he wished it to be. "I mean, what does it matter? You're not even human." With this, the man spins and walks back down the hall. Well, dashes. A helpless Emil simply listens as the footsteps of his erstwhile captor fade into the distance. Emil finds himself alone in a room with the stench of death and blood. For a moment, he considers opening his eyes, but the thought of the horrors that await him quickly quashed that plan. Instead, he stands still and listens intently. Eventually, a far-off sound reaches his ears. That's the howl I heard before. Emil resumes walking, using the sound of the distant voice to guide him, almost as if it was calling at him home. By the time Emil reaches the third floor, he is moving on memory as much as sound. His hands and face are covered in fresh wounds from numerous falls, but every time he thinks about giving up, his mind returns to his sister. We studied together. We ate cookies together. We cried together, we laughed together, and sometimes I was the only one who got yelled at. That's why I was never lonely. Our being together allowed me to stay strong. For Emil, his sister was all he had to live for, so holding that feeling close to his chest, he pressed on, one slow step after another. Finally, Emil finds himself drawing close to a certain experimental chamber in the deepest part of the laboratory. The howl is very close now, and as he touches the switch that controls the door, he thinks about his mission. Number 6 is the ultimate weapon. She is his sister, and he must turn her to stone. The door slowly opens, revealing the massive interior of the experimentation chamber. After a few steps, Emil removes his blindfold and slowly opens his eyes. His sister lurches before him, but she looks nothing like the girl he once knew. Instead, he sees a savage beast crawling on all fours through the shredded remains of researchers. As the thing that had been his sister stops and tilts its head in Emil's direction, he focuses his gears on it. A series of soft, crunching sounds emerge from the creature as his magic does its terrible work. First the fingers, then the hands, arms, legs, head. But little Coulter, the beast once possessed, fades to a dull, ashen grey. And yet, somehow, it summons what strength remains and pulls itself towards Emil once more, lumbering effort at a time. Wheeling, the massive monstrosity closes in. Sorry, I'm losing my ability to talk again. Wheeling, the massive monstrosity closes in. Is she worried about me? Or is she coming to kill me? Emil feels prepared to accept either outcome. After all, this was his older sister, the person he loved more than anything else in the world. Hello, The moment Emil speaks, number 6 comes to a sudden halt. Silence descends on the chamber as the siblings stare at each other. I'm sorry, Helloa, but everyone says you're too powerful. They say it's too dangerous unless I seal you away. I'm sorry. As Emil watches her body begin to turn to stone once more, number 6 simply waits in utter, perfect silence. I'm sorry. The moment number 6's petrification is complete, her memories flood into Emil's head. The two of them huddling together in the cold, all alone in the world with no one to protect them. All she wanted was to save her little brother, and yet it was that little brother who in a sense saved her. The moment the petrification was complete, Emil sinks to his knees. A frozen sister and a little brother wrecked in sin. Alone in this cold cage, the two of them weep in a single, silent voice. It was our combined power that destroyed the Eyrie. Whole existences, entire lives, even their memories. We took it all. We took everything. My sweet sister turned into a monster, and the same thing will happen to me now that I have her power. If my instincts as a weapon win out and destroy me in the process, if that power ends up hurting someone I love,
What have I done? I killed innocent people. I killed them all.
But you saved us. If it wasn't for you, we'd all be dead. We owe you.
But I...
It's all right. Really? Don't look back.
We had best...
Yeah.
So, to give a bit of context to what happens after this game and between it and Automata. So obviously you know that Emil survives this game. Because he's in Automata and he's just ahead there. So after the events of this game, thousands of years pass, and then the aliens attack, and the androids have to defend the Earth from the aliens, which is such a stupid sentence to say. It's such a weird direction the series took, but it ends up working out. during that time, Emil was fighting the aliens pretty much all on his own. The androids were for a long time completely unprepared for the invasion. Emil, using his insane magic powers, cloned himself thousands of times. He was a very literal one-man army and was fighting these things for like about 6,000 years on his own. And anytime any of them died, he would just create more and more clones of himself. But an unfortunate side effect is that as he kept dividing himself, his mind started to break down, and he remembered less and less of who he used to be. So we don't even know which Emil is in Automata. It might be the original. It's more likely it's one of the clones, and he remembers pretty much nothing about this game because he's divided and cloned himself like 10,000 times. Yep. The invasion was just
Populus
unstoppable.
found some information about the Shadow Lord.
Very well.
Like, I don't remember the exact dates. I think it's like... This game takes place in like 3,000 such and such. The invasion, I think, started around 5,000 such and such. And then Automata takes place around in 11,000. So the war was just going on for forever, and eventually the androids got themselves like sorted out, and like had like the Yoha forces and such. Yeah, it's very unclear what the aliens' motives are. It's funny, really, because like the aliens don't even matter. They do not matter at all. They are a side note to explain where the machines came from that they created to wage their war for them. Because Automata is about the androids and the machines. And when they finally is like, so what happened to the aliens? And they're like, okay, Dash, the aliens were wiped out by their own machines because they were boring. The machines, the more they interacted with humanity and the androids, they were exposed to another culture and became increasingly aware of how utterly uncreative and boring the aliens are. They are like a... I'm trying to think how to put this. The aliens are Vulcans, basically. Like they're like generic like squid aliens, but they have like Vulcan-like personalities. And they're just so utterly uninteresting that the machines eventually killed them all. Because they were just seen as a hamper to their own like existential like revelations. And it's just so bizarre because it's like only Yoko Taro would introduce the concept of aliens to this universe, and they're nothing more than a fucking footnote to explain where the machines came from. Like, what I told you was technically a spoiler, but it's not even a big spoiler because it happens relatively early in Automata that you find out that the aliens are all dead and have been for a while. And they don't talk about it much after that. They're just like, yep, they're dead. That's why we haven't seen an alien mothership in like 2,000 years.
Hey, Popola.
Ah.
Have you learned anything? Well,
That's fair.
What is the...
Beats me.
That room's almost filled out, so I think, yeah, now we're gonna go... we're gonna go do episode Mermaid.
This feels alarmingly familiar.
I'm sure that couple is merely having another one of their inane spats. Let us do our utmost not to get dragged into it this time,
So I'm actually gonna jump to the main menu just so that I can switch. I'm gonna switch Kaine's costume because I think I actually like. I never got a good look at her Kabuki one. I'm tempted to change the magic orbs, but I'm not a coward. I will deal.
Why am I the only one?
Okay, so let's see. What am I missing?
Curse these tired old.
Sorry, Brian fought again. I'm like, I should go to the ferry. Oh wait, I can't because he's dead. At this point in the story, you have to go there yourself because he's gone. Not dealing with you. Ah, now we get new cutscenes.
Yeesh. I don't think I've ever seen fog this thick before. Huh? What's that?
And now that we've got the new cutscenes, suddenly all the running about makes sense. Because all the back and forth that we're about to be made to do keeps activating triggers for the new cutscenes.
My life is over.
What's wrong?
Oh, hey, I remember.
Yeah, so
And here we go again. Shall we begin by asking around at the tavern like before?
Hey there. Yep.
Yep, flirting. No, thank you.
Trade.
You should talk to your kid, bartender.
Hard to believe a ship of this size managed to run aground. What was that? Hey, is someone there? Okay, I definitely heard someone cough just now. Maybe it's one of those kids from town? But where are they? There you are. What are you doing here, kid? And who are you, anyway? Were you a passenger on this ship, maybe? Hey, it's okay. You don't need to be scared.
To think that couple's petty squabbles have become something of an attraction for the locals.
Doesn't surprise me in the least. Seeing people like that puts a little spring in your step, you know?
You humans truly are a maddening bunch. Such buffoonery does little more than wear this old tome out.
Yeah, there's a lot of these cutscenes. They really like, oh, that's why they made me run back and forth so fucking much.
Hey there.
Like, Christ, you could have
How you
just had the cutscenes last longer.
Well, your cough seems better at least. Check it out. I brought you some bread today.
So Devler and Poplar earlier talked about this girl, that she's obsessed with becoming human, and that she is the most powerful shade they know of, and they might need her to take out the Shadow Lord if he continues to refuse to go along with the plan.
Jeez, you must have been starving. Well, look, no one's gonna take this from you, so just take it easy so you don't choke on it, okay? So, what were you doing on this boat, kid?
Now, unfortunately, she might be a shade, but she doesn't have a replicant that she can be put into. So, unlike most shades, it is actually beyond impossible for her to become human.
Actually, scratch that. First things first. I can't just keep calling you kid. You got a name? Well, this is going nowhere fast. Let's see. Louise. Yeah, what about Louise? I mean, it just sort of popped into my head, but what do you think? Guess you're okay with it. Well, it's nice to meet you, Louise.
We searched the southern plains back when the wife ran off too, right?
I believe we did, yes.
Lots changed since then. So it's kind of nice when we find something that hasn't. The fact that couple is still arguing almost fills me with, I don't know, hope, I guess.
If you asked me, that particular couple could benefit from a little change.
Alright, let's talk to his brother. Have you seen him? Nope.
I cannot believe how many trips we have made simply to track down a single man.
It's all right to do this kind of thing every now and then.
I only pray this is not the calm before some manner of storm. Say there, lad, have you ever penned a missive?
You mean a letter? No. I'm not big on writing. It always takes me forever to figure out what I want to say.
What's to figure out? One simply takes quill in hand and unleashes their soul upon the canvas of the page.
Whatever you say, Vice.
I wonder if that loading screen was deliberate. It was very particular. What am I trying to say? I wonder if that one's fixed, or if it was just
Hey there,
pure
Louise.
chance that they picked the letter one by random.
Say, where'd you get that red bag?
Where did you get that red bag?
Found it on the ship, did you? You kids are so darn curious about everything. Anywho, it's good to see you. Afraid I don't have any bread today, but I did bring you something. Here, it's a ribbon. Let me tie it in your hair for you. Well, what do you think?
So
pretty nice, huh?
I do have one slight issue with this. It's a weird thing, but she's a shade trying to appear human, right? So that would imply that everything on her body except for the bag is not real. Like, she's not wearing a clothing, she's just transforming her body to look like that. But the ribbon he just gave her is definitely real. Like, it came from him, not her. But later when we see her shade form, she has a shade ribbon made out of her own body.
Huh. What's that on the floor?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's a
assume that's what
mirror.
it is.
Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's go ahead and check out your new look. If you go over there where it's brighter, you'll be able to see yourself more clearly. What's wrong? Don't you want to see? Oh, I see. You don't like sunlight. Guess your eyes are pretty sensitive after spending all this time in the dark, huh? Well, it's not like we can have you stay here forever. We should work on getting you out of here so you and me can go look at the sea together. How's that sound?